Today we are here to discuss one of the important things about a stage in our family life, and that is our toddler's life. That is from 6 months to 2 years old of our children. The reason why it is important is that this is the time that your child is growing. This is the time that your child is picking up all the eating habits. So it's very, very important time when it comes to food that you give to your kids. We all know that breast milk is a complete meal for your child from the early stages. But then after 6 months, the child needs something else. So what do we give to our kids?
It's very important to have exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of life. And in Toronto Public Health, we recommend breastfeeding for the first 6 months, exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months, and to continue to breastfeed for 2 years on and beyond. In the second 6 months, it's important when you're introducing solids, you introduce it in the second 6 months, and the first food should be an iron-rich food. Do not put porridge in a bottle, and if you do not put any kind of cereals in a bottle, you should feed cereals and porridges from a bowl with a spoon. Putting it in the bottle can cause choking and lead to obesity. And you do not want to feed babies drinks like malted drinks with chocolate-based drinks or herbal or bush teas.
Hi everyone, how are you? Welcome to the Pure Nutrition Workshop. Now today's class will be focused on feeding infants, and we're looking at feeding infants from 6 months onwards, right? So today we're going to look at some of the food that we can make for babies, homemade baby food, okay? What are some of the benefits of making your own baby food at home?
It's cheap.
Cheaper to buy. Oh yes. Anyone? Any other suggestions?
It's healthy.
Healthier. Nutritious.
Cultural foods.
Cultural foods. That's one of the biggest things that we don't find. We don't have that much variety. And that's just one of the things that we want to do, is to let you know that you can introduce your own food to their babies, okay? At 6 months, we want to introduce solid foods, right? So the first thing you want to give your baby is any kind of iron-rich foods. Now, in the past, I know they always say iron-fortified cereal, but you do not have to give iron-fortified cereal. I know the cereal comes in a box like the dry cereal, and normally the consistency has to be like this. So it has to be a little bit moist, okay? So we don't have to give iron-fortified cereal only. Okay. There are other kinds of iron-rich food. What other kind of iron-rich food you can give from your culture or anywhere?
I'm talking like meat and...
Yes, meats, like. And those who are not meat eaters, what other? Any others? Beans and lentils, right. So these are some of the things that you can offer to your baby at 6 months. But how much can you offer your baby? Do you offer it every day, one food?
One at a time.
So you give one food at a time. So today, I don't want to give cereal today and tomorrow meat and tomorrow that, right? So you want to do one food at a time to see if there's any allergic reactions. You want to be careful of that. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to make the chicken. What I have, I boiled the chicken, and remember, when you're making baby food, you do not have to add anything to it. No butter, no salt, no margarine, no nothing. All you need is the meat or the beans or the vegetables, and just boil in water. Now this is a baby food grinder, which you can use, and you can serve it also from the bowl. It comes with a whole little spoon. So we just want to just put it in the water. Oops, I think that comes out a little bit too much. And we just want to grind it. And the consistency has to be not too hard. It has to be in a consistency that we won't call stroking, right? So you want to make sure the consistency is right. Now, if you don't have a baby food grinder, what other things can you use? A blender or a chopper or a grater. In the past, we never used to have these fancy things, right? So we had to put the food through here, and we sift it, and I'll show you that in a little while. So this is the chicken, and as you can see, look at the color. So if you want to just look at the consistency, the color, the texture, you can compare and contrast if you like. Another thing that you can do is to introduce peas to the baby, like any kind of vegetable. So you have pumpkin, squash, or anything. And peas is one of those fast ones that that the baby loves. So we're going to look at the store-bought one versus. So when you boil the peas, you can look at the color, how green it is. This doesn't look sort of green, right? So again, if you look at the peas, you can see how green, colorful. Again, no additives, nothing at all. Okay. So basically, from 6 months, the texture will be more like that kind of texture. And then at 7 months onwards, we want to give a little bit more lumpier texture. So again, for babies, as they grow, they develop. So they want to introduce different types of textures to them, okay? So I'm going to show you another different type of texture that we can offer to the baby. And this is a very easy one you can do. Simple, mashed. There we go. The texture should be a little bit lumpier. Okay, so you don't have it like the texture I just showed you before, runny.
Okay.
So from 7 months upwards, you can give it a little bit more softer. So carrots is one of those easy ones. Again, this would be another one you can use your fork to easily mash. Okay, so very easy. And so you want to make sure that it's be a little bit coarser in texture. So by 7 to 9 months upwards, you can give a little bit more coarser texture, right? So at that time, so again, and at 1 year, of course, they can eat what you eat, okay?
Today we are talking about feeding your 1 year and up child, so between 1 and 2 years. This is a very interesting time because this is the time that they can tell you, Mommy, I don't want this, I want that, or I don't need that. And your child is trying to be an individual of her own. She's trying to take control of things. They want to do their own thing. So this is the time that as a mother, you have to be very creative and come up with things to meet the child's needs. At this stage, maybe they may not be even breastfeeding or they may not be taking enough milk. So it's time to be more creative and come up with nutrient-dense foods, like lots of things, because they are not going to eat much. You look at them, they are telling you, Mommy, I want this, I want that, but they are not going to eat much. So whatever goes in there should be really rich. It has to come up with all the nutrients balanced for them. So today I have an iron-rich food. And this one here is spinach with ground beef. It's very tasty. You can all try it. So I have the ground beef, the spinach, and I have carrots and green peas in it. So I stewed everything together. With the ground beef, sometimes when you cook it, it becomes a little bit lumpy. So what I did was that I cooked it, I stewed it a little bit, and then I put it back in the blender, and then it came out a little smooth. If your child is ready to be picking the food at this stage, 1 year they want to pick, then when it's lumpy, it's fine. You can even leave it on their plate, and then this is the time that they can pick the food themselves and eat. And then I have the same ground beef here, and I have yam here. I have yam here, and the yam is like a soup. So I have yam, I have squash, so it's cooked as a pot dish for them. And you see that it's lumpy, so they can pick and eat, but it's soft. You want to make the food interesting. So you see, you can mold it, you can do it shapes, you can have a face with it, so you can have a little thing on it like this. You can make the food interesting for them, so you can put stuff on it to make it interesting. What are some of the things that you can give to your child culturally? What are some of the foods that we give?
I don't know if you know it, pounded yam.
Pounded yam. You can give pounded yam. We call it fufu. Yeah, you make it soft, and you can have thick soup with it. You know, you can have the soup with vegetables, all the vegetables in it. You can even have spinach in it. We have something that we call spinach soup. You can have spinach, you can have lentils in it, and you can have a little meat in it, or fish powder in it. You know, that is cultural, and you can have it with a pounded yam. How about spices? You don't want to make the food too spicy. You want to introduce them. I mean, some people say no, but the child is growing in your family. It's part of your family. Sometimes you do it, but then you don't do it so much. You know, it's just a little, just a, flavor. You can spice it, but not too much at that age.
What if the child is selective? What will we do as a mother?
That's a wonderful question. What if you give it to your child and the child doesn't accept it? this is the stage that you want them to experiment the food. It doesn't mean that when you give one food to the child today, for example, you're giving carrots or peas to the child is going to take it the first day, and bam, you have the food, the child is eating. Sometimes the first day the child wouldn't eat it. Don't give up. You can give something else. The next day, try it again. So you keep on trying. Some children, what happens is that some children, research says that some children you have to give the food as much as 7 times before the child is going to accept that food. It doesn't mean that they don't want to eat it, that they would never eat it. They will eat it, but give them time because they have to adjust their own taste to it.
What about those babies that just don't open their mouth for food? Because my daughter, you could leave her for hours without feeding her. When you go feed her, she don't want anything.
You know, when a baby is not hungry, sometimes when a baby is not hungry...
You get it in her mouth and she'll eat it, but she's not...
You see, now you say we get it in the mouth, so that...
But after you force it in her mouth.
You know, sometimes they want to take the food themselves. You see, those kids, they want to take the food themselves. So you have to make it, you see, you have to make the food available in a way that they can pick themselves. Because they see you eating, they want to do it too. Another thing is that for children, you cannot sit the kid down and just feed the kid. Make everything very natural. The child is part of the family. The child is not a different individual. She or he is part of the family. He or she wants to see the family sitting and eating. So everybody sit down and you all eat. Make family meal times important.
I have a 1-year-old who's extremely picky. I'm trying to wean her of the breast milk now because that's all she takes. But what I've realized, if I feed her baby food, she does not eat it. But when the other kids are eating, she wants her food to look like theirs. So if it looks like theirs, she will eat it. But baby food that looks like baby food and everybody is eating regular food, she's not going to eat it. So if I just give her, like, I cut it up very small, whatever it is the kids are eating, I put it on the tray, I make sure it's clean on the high chair, and it ends up on the floor, but then some of it ends up in her mouth anyway. So I cut up an orange and just give it to her. She plays with it, but I know she gets some of it. But if it looks like baby food, she will not eat it.
Toddler feeding is not a one-size-fits-all. There are so many tricks. That's why we have to come together and learn from each other. You know, you learn what is happening, what is my friend or another mother doing that is working, and you pick it up.